All right, shop hackers. My name is Joseph Cox. I'm in Longwood, Florida, and I have been waiting a while to be able to show you the new shop that we just got into. And I'll be ready to talk to you about some financials as to what kind of costs were involved in this, so that way if anybody is interested in moving or moving up, they can get an idea of what something like this actually looks like. So here it is. We went from 2,000 square feet to 7,000 square feet. We are in somewhat of an industrial park here. There's no direct traffic. We have a European car shop right there, a body shop next to it, car sales. And if you look here from the front door all the way to this door, nope, this one right here, the shipping dock, that is our shop. And then over here, that door to that door is actually a set of batting cages and these people start parking here. They start coming in around the evening. So here we went from having 4 parking spaces to now having probably 12. So this white van all the way down to my car there, plus all of the parking here is just huge. So I want to thank Matthew DeSalvatore from Creative Signs. They're the ones that helped me get my signage up here. Try to get my good picture here. So people can see when they drive by, when your car won't go, call Joe. People like the slogan. All right, we're gonna walk in. They did our signs here. Basically the 2 signs with the permitting and everything, I think I spent somewhere around maybe $1,400 or $1,500. It's a lot, but so is permitting. So here's the office. This looks nothing, and I mean nothing like it looked before. There was a body shop in here. They smoked cigarettes. It was terrible. This place was black, orange, and white. It was like Harley Davidson orange. And we came in here, repainted it. The landlord agreed to replace all the ceiling tiles because they stunk of smoke. And then my parents, who were a big part of this, got to give them credit because my mom is super creative. She helped me go to Lowe's and purchase this outdoor furniture, which actually turned into really nice furniture. Very comfy. These are rockers. Came with a set. I think we paid about, I think the entire set was around $800 or so, plus the tax, not including the 2 pillows there. My mom took a butcher block top from Home Depot and stained it, and we got a couple of cabinets that were from a liquidation warehouse, and then I put my old refrigerator there, and my mom found at Hobby Lobby these little wrench drawer things. And people, little things like that are good conversation starters. We got a TV, it's got the built-in Roku Wi-Fi, and we just have a cheap antenna mounted through the roof there, and it picks up a ton of channels. And then just a couple of things here to decorate. But this, we came in here, painted it, did everything. I took the old sign off of my old building. This is what was above the front door. And we got these little standoffs here. And it cuts maybe about an inch there. Got a cheap LED kit. And now it just, lights up and you can do different patterns. This desk right here, this is a new desk. I kind of treated myself to something nice. I probably paid about $7 or I don't remember, around I think I paid around $800. It was on sale or something. We still got things to hang up in here, like the boards and stuff. We got a really nice customer bathroom here. Little things. I know this is kind of boring, but this is a huge step for us. So my mom came in here, decorated, did some stuff. One of the biggest things though was over at Lowe's, you get these corrugated metal, like corrugated roof, and you can put it on the wall. It gives it a nice little industrial / maybe a home barn look. I haven't gotten the other office. This would basically be for the bookkeeper. And as you can see, we are still unpacking. The desk was there, and we just kind of put everything there for now until we continue unpacking. Now this right here is where all the magic happens. Kaboom! So we have 3 garage doors. One of them is a big 20-footer, then a little one, and then the one over there is actually a shipping dock. So when we get engines, we don't have to actually pay for a drop charge or a tailgate charge. They can deliver it straight through there. And I'm going to take you a walk around and we'll show you some of the things we have here. So this is our shop. The building that I'm in is 7,000 square feet. This office probably takes up maybe a few hundred of it, and the rest of it is lots and lots of open space. Even with all these cars, I can pull a car in and drive around this pole and still have plenty of room. So I decided to put 4 lifts. This is one that came out of my old shop. It's a Challenger CL10 V3. I bought 2 more, these 2 red ones. These are brand new. And as any of you know, if you're trying to order lifts right now, they're on a 3-month back order. I found somebody here in Florida that had 2 of these in stock, and he gave me an installed price for both of these lifts. I think I paid around $12,000. So the one thing I like about these is I think these are the American-made versions, and they have the Versametric, you know, setup, and the footprint on these things is just huge. It makes you feel safer being underneath it, and also the fittings are just superior compared to the old Chinese lift that I used to have. So I have 2 technicians. I have my guy Adam, who was with me for about 3 years now at the old shop, and then I just hired a new guy a few days ago. He's actually really kicking butt on flat rate. I'll show you some of the storage we have here. This is our, you know, we're still organizing, so don't laugh, but our tool shelf, our liquids and fluids, a lot of our, you know, accessories, and just all sorts of stuff. And I have Advanced Auto Parts. The secret to getting cheap wiper blades is every once in a while they go on sale for $6.99 for the beam blades, and you just buy up a whole bunch of them, and we sell a lot of wiper blades. I did hire Mighty to come in and give me you know, a deal on a rack. And what's cool is they stock your filters, and it's actually comparable, if not cheaper, than going and getting these things from Advance or whoever. So for most of your oil filters, you pay about $2.07, I think it is. Some of the other ones are a little more. I only keep American Asian. I rarely do European stuff. I stock most of your, you know, popular cabin filters and air filters. It comes in handy because we're a little bit further away from the parts store than we were before, and we just wanted to have that in stock. And I asked him to stock more because there are times we're, you know, running out. That's just a bathroom. I did hang a bulb shelf. These are where we we hold all of our bulbs and light bulbs to, you know, when cars have something out. We have a nut and bolt rack from Harbor Freight, really inexpensive. For those of you that want to stock bulbs, basically from here over is what Advanced Auto Parts sells for $159. It's the case, and it comes with about 190 bulbs. So you pay less than $1 a bulb, and you get the container. We bought 2 of them because over the years we have other bulbs that we had to you know, add to the collection. And so here's our little board setup, and right now they have been kicking butt and knocking things off. Let's go around the shop and take a look. I did upgrade some equipment. Now I have my CPS R134 machine. I've got the Snap-on YF machine, just some random junk, and our compressor. I did invest in a new welder because we had one of those FluxCore Harbor Freights, and the problem with them is FluxCore, although it works, it's very dirty welding, and so I wanted something a little more precise. So I ended up going on Eastwood, and I got the MiG 140. It does a beautiful job. Got myself the argon helium tank, whatever, and it does an amazing job. And I think I got it on sale for maybe around $270 or $300. And again, it just lays down a beautiful weld. Got a nice little helmet there. It says my toolbox. I don't use it that much because I don't, you know, work on cars. This is the new guy's box. We have an old industrial type workbench that we've mounted a vise. It takes lots of abuse, but it works really well. And you can't forget to bring your guys donuts. This is our diagnostic cart. We have a Zeus. We have an Autel Elite. We do have the J-Box, a jump starter. It's a mess. And we do actually have an old launch. This is old, but it still does good for certain Fords and German stuff. All right, moving along. This is Adam's stuff. Got our stuff set up here. I did invest in an ultrasonic cleaner. It helps clean little parts if you have like a lawnmower carburetor or just something that needs cleaning on the inside. You know, it sends vibrations, and you know, it does a fairly good job cleaning up depending on the chemical. This is actually our charging table, which, as you can see, has turned into the parts table because he's putting a motor in this car. My guy Adam, he likes putting engines in, and so it was originally just supposed to be the charging table. Got a radio. This is our old welder. It's falling apart, but still works. I was at Harbor Freight one time and they returned this big Vulcan welder. It's a stick welder, and it was like $400 something. They returned it, and as I'm looking at it, the manager comes over and says, "I'll give it to you for like $75." And I'm like, "Really? I'll take it." So he literally sold me that practically new for $75 because it was a return. Okay, this lift right here is an older model Challenger. This is, I believe, American made. What is nice about it is it does not have the front bar that you can hit your head on. It is a 15,000 pound lift. I bought it used. I paid $9,000 installed. Again, it's a 15,000 pound. It came with the alignment plates and all the stuff. I can actually take those off if I don't want them. And it included the air operated rolling jacks. So I can just, you know, raise the vehicle up. These are so nice to have when you have a vehicle on the lift. Couple jack stands. We just got our a remanufactured motor from TriStar Engines up north. It just got built and put in. These are some cores from recent motors. I did invest in the Snap-on TJA 100. This is the air over hydraulic transmission jack, and apparently this thing can take down a transmission and transfer case in one shot. So you don't have to disconnect the two. And I'm sure there's some it might not be able to, but this is a very stable and adjustable piece. We do have the Brannock wall mounted spring compressor, which you know, I haven't mounted yet, and our old tranny jack. I just have my boat parked in here for right now. One of the Worldpac trucks broke down, so we have that. And then I'll go over here to one of our newest favorite toys I bought from Redline Stands. I had to wait till they actually got them in stock, but this is an air over hydraulic 30-ton press. It's got an arbor that will move back and forth. It's got a winch here that you can use to actually move the carriage up and down. And then right now we got a wheel bearing in there. I was just going to demonstrate. It's so easy. You just push the button and it pushes it right out. I think I paid around I think for this thing I paid around $2,300 or $2,400 shipped. And let's see, what else do we have? Oh, this is our oil drains. We have an oil and coolant filter container, and these are two drums, or two roll arounds. Just some miscellaneous stuff. But this shop actually had one of these tables in there, so we modified it just to kind of be a roll around table for, you know, if we have some interior we have to take out, we can utilize it, or a cylinder head. This unfortunately had a pole in here, which really sucks because you feel like you're gonna, you know, back into it. So my parents bought this foam wrap that goes around it, and it's high visibility, and so far nobody has hit anything. One of the cool things is there's a airline kit. It's called I think it's called Max Air, and it's 3/4 inch. It's plastic and aluminum lined, and you bend it just like you would piping. So what I did was I ran, and I have air to this one because it actually has air operated safety locks that to release them. Each lift has its own reel, so that way nobody has to worry about sharing each other's stuff. So basically you just bend it and hang it with conduit hangers. I got it going all the way down to the compressor. Again, each lift has its own hose reel. And then I divided and I sent a line over here, because at the front, sometimes people come up here, you know, and they're like, hey, can you put air in my tires? And you're like, yeah, let me do that. But instead of having to pull the car all the way in, all you gotta do is you got a hose reel. So this stuff is expensive to do, but it looks really good, and it's very functional, and it's OSHA approved. And they come with these little blocks, and then you just find the adapters you want. I've got drains on each one, so I can drain out, you know, any liquids that condensate. So anyways, tell me what you think. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. Here's the financials. I'll go ahead and tell you what I spent on this place. My old place, I used to pay $1,544 out the door, taxes, water, everything. And we only had 2,000 square feet. We had 4 parking spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4 parking spaces. And 3 of us drove cars. And that tells you how much of a problem we had with parking. Our parking lot was shot. It would flood with water. It was cracking and sinking in. Just very problematic. Wasn't conducive to good business. Making customers walk across water puddles to get their cars. This place is 7,000 square feet. With taxes and everything, I pay about $5,500 a month. It's more than I wanted to pay at first. And some of you might be like, oh, that's cheap, and some of you might be like, oh, that's a deal, or that's too much. But in this area, I've been looking and looking and looking, and deals fall through, and nobody really wants to sell because I wanted to buy, and just nobody's doing it. So, oh, one other thing I did was I took all the bulbs and put LEDs in there instead, the LED 8-footers, and you just hardwire them, and it makes it really light up in here at nighttime. So anyways, the lifts, the two red lifts, I paid $12,000 give or take installed for 2 brand new CL10 V3s that were actually in stock. I mean, that was just hard to find. That Challenger, I think I paid about $9,000 for that, and it's got a 15,000 pound capacity alignment hardware on there, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. The initial stocking of our Mighty stuff to get what you see here, which is most of your vehicles for air filters, cabin filters, and oil filters, was about $1,500, and I think I paid about $1,400. And right now they have a deal, at least they had a deal. I don't know if it's still valid or not, but what you could do is if you stocked 3 items, so in other words, oil filters, air filters, cabin filters, you get across the board pricing. So for instance, air filters, I think I pay like $7 or $8 each, something, maybe it's $9, I forgot. And then cabin filters are about the same. So it's a really good deal. And of course, I think there are some exceptions to the oddball stuff. And at this particular time, if you spent $1,500, you get $800 worth of stuff. So I've now got to go cash in and use all that. This is our parts shelf. It's becoming cluttered, but this is where Worldpac and Cold Air comes and drops stuff off. We got a little employee computer. The reasons why the monitor is up and down is because it's got a in the other shop, it was probably, there was just so little space next to it that you couldn't do a side-by-side. So we did an up and down. I'll see if they want to change it. And the shop here came with this little hand-built cabinet, and it just holds some stuff. It's nothing major, but it's nice and handy. When you look at this shop, this was not the color. This used to be orange and black, and it was terrible looking. So we came in here. I have a Harbor Freight paint sprayer, so I probably spent I think I used a total between that wall and this wall and all the little paints. I've probably got maybe $500, $600, $700 in supplies, paint, rollers, a lot of the 5-gallon buckets to do all this. Use the paint primer stuff. This is our little lock box for our. These are actually kind of handy. You can get one of these off like Amazon or eBay, and it's just a really nice little way to lock up the keys at night. It's not completely security, hardcore, but it keeps the honest people honest. So anyways, tell me what you think. Our first month, we got, we haven't even completed our first month in here, and we got a guy out there, a new technician, and he is thirsty, and he is just smoking it out here. And a couple of jobs he struggled on, but he came from another shop that was doing slow. He liked flat rate. His hourly rate was not as high as he should have. I gave him what he wanted. I didn't want to haggle with him, and I think he's really liking the place. So we're hoping, at our old place we were struggling to get $30,000 a month. And I know a lot of you out there might get, $50,000 or $80,000 a month with 2 techs. We were struggling, and I think flat rate is the key to turning these people on and getting that extra out of them. The other thing is, we're coming up to the end of our year. So far as of now, I am already surpassing last year's goal. I really want to start seeing this place start producing 50, 60,000 a month. And we are consistently somewhere in the 59 to maybe 60% gross profit range. And so we're definitely able to pay the bills and put some money in our pockets, but it's not been fruitful at the other place. We want to make it really good, because eventually I want to start, doing employee benefits like a retirement or 401k, health insurance. So one step at a time. But thank you for watching, and I hope this has been encouragement. Feel free to ask me anything you want, even financial stuff. I'm happy to share that, because I think you as shop owners should know what some of this stuff costs, so you can be prepared to, if you have to move, what do the costs really look like. So anyways, take care.